So, Elliott, what's your earliest memories of, obviously we're saying you go back to the age of 4, what's your early memories of Jack?
Probably playing football in the playground with him. We had to go on different teams because otherwise it was unfair. I know there was a lot of fouling with Jack, especially my best mate. But yeah, that was probably the early memories I have of him.
Okay. Jack, turn the tables.
Yeah, so
It doesn't have to be
similar
football
to
related.
but I mean, what I remember the most is him and sort of a few mates. We had this game called Bush Push. So it's like sort of we were playing. It used to get in my head all the time. Hated it. He just pushed me into a bush whenever I was near him.
Oh, that's nice.
Just got on my nerves.
It was mainly my mates that did that, but
Oh, great. We've not fallen out too much over the years.
No.
We better get down to business and start talking football here, because Elliott, I mean, since the last time we did the interview, I think over a year ago, with the pair of you when you signed your deals, you've had loans at Merstham and now Corinthian Casuals. They're both going really well for you.
It's been going really well this season with Corinthians, especially the FA Cup run we're on, into the 4th qualifying round, and I've contributed with a few goals and assists, so I'm pleased with that. Yeah.
Jack, yourself as well, Leatherhead and Eastbourne Borough, so I mean that's going very well for you as well, yeah?
Yeah, going very well. Sort of got picked up a bit of form sort of more recently, and sort of loving it, enjoying it. It's all good.
Not too bad. Four man of the match displays we're talking now.
Yeah, 3 or 4. I mean,
they love you down there.
It's been good. It's been nice. But you know, just sort of helping the team the best I can, keeping clean sheets. It's my job, so keep on doing it, keep on performing, and whatever happens, happens.
Good to hear. Elliott, in terms of the FA Cup, obviously getting the headlines this week and so on, what's the situation now with you in terms of as we move towards the competition? Because obviously Wimbledon come into it in the first round. You do stay on loan for the competition?
Yeah, so we've got to get through the 4th qualifying round, Rob, against St Albans, and yeah, as long as we progress, unless we draw Wimbledon, of course, I'll stay with Corinthians. Yeah, see where it takes us really.
And Jack, yourself, as said, you know, man of the match awards are plenty at the moment, but how they've made you feel really welcome down there on the Sussex coast, yeah?
Yeah, they've been great. You know, sort of the staff and everyone sort of around. They kind of know the goals that we've set ourselves, and they align nicely with what Wimbledon want. So it's overall sort of a very good sort of foundation for the next step.
What's the situation when you're kind of picking out these loan situations? Do they sort of take you down there and you get a feel for the place and so on?
Yeah, so sort of there are a couple of options at the beginning of the season. One of the reasons sort of I chose Eastbourne was because of how they played, sort of how they wanted to, and off of our own backs really, we sort of went down, you know, gave it a go, had a look, had a trial game, sort of did well, went from there really.
And Elliott, for yourself as well, I mean, they've got those strong amateur traditions still, haven't they?
Yeah, I've heard good things about Corinthians before I joined, and I played against them once last season, so got in contact with the manager and had my first game there and just loved it ever since really. And from then on I've just been playing games week in, week out, and yeah, to be fair, the coaching staff down at Corinthians are really good with me, and yeah, I feel like I'm developing really well at Corinthians.
And we've been talking about, of course, this impressive FA Cup run that you're on, but of course there's a few ex-AFC Wimbledon Academy players down there as well that some of the fans might remember.
Yeah, so Manny's at Corinthians. He's a big part of the team. Yeah, he's a hard worker and he's very good on the ball. So yeah, we're building a good team at Corinthians.
That's Emmanuel Mensah, you remember him from the run against Watford and Newcastle, yeah?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, so the fans will probably remember him from those cup runs. But yeah.
And Bobby Mills as well, he's been getting a few goals, hasn't he?
Yeah, Bobby Mills, he's popped up with a few goals recently, especially in the FA Cup. He's proven to be a great goal scorer for us. Yeah.
You've also got that midfield partnership going with Alfie Bendel.
Yeah, me and Alfie Bendel, playing in there. I think it's working well, really. Yeah.
He's a fantastic prospect, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only 16, so I always forget how young he is. But no, he's really developing well, and be playing with him in midfield is just great for someone just to rely on in there. And yeah, he's doing really well.
He's got that really good understanding developing between you.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it's a positive thing to be playing together, and especially in a manly environment, just to gain the first team experience together. I feel like it's just a positive thing.
Jack, there's so many of you out on loan at the moment doing so well. I mean, another one I want to ask you about, David Fisher, who's doing so well at Hampton and Richmond, and we've got him committed to AFC Wimbledon as well now.
Yeah, brilliant. Dav's, a clinical goal scorer. You give him an inch of space and he's getting goals. He's, a quick player as well. He always plays on the front foot, but he's very sort of focused. and he's been getting goals. He's been proving sort of to everyone how much class he has, and he's got a bright future.
Elliott's touched upon it there as well. I mean, in terms of how things are now with going out on loan, you're playing competitive football, games that matter, things that rest upon things. How much is it a real difference from, you know, what was the structure of playing 23s league football where there wasn't so much resting on it, yeah?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, you've got sort of a gap between 23s football and first team football, and sort of going out. If I'm honest, 23s football's great, however, you need that experience where every point matters. You're going to get pushed, you're going to get sort of beaten up, but it's just about sort of knowing your roles and having the right sort of technique or whatever to push you on to the next level.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a passionate club, and all the fans want from you is 100% work rate every game. And if you're winning games, then great. But yeah, they just really care about football, and it's just great to see a club with such passion. Really, that's why I wanted to play for Corinthians in the first place.
Jack, just give us an idea of your week in terms of how it's structured, because you're here some of the time, but then of course you've got to do your match prep for your club, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm here basically all week except the Thursday evenings. Even on the Thursdays we're sort of in the mornings doing gym. You go down all the way to Eastbourne, match prep, you know, good quality training, sort of prepare you for Saturday, whatever happens, and you've got your match analysis, your training with some very good players. So it's all that you could really ask for from a loan move.
Similar for yourself, yeah, Elsie, but a little more closer to home, yeah?
Yeah, so depending on the week, I'll go Tuesday, Thursday training unless we've got the midweek game, which at the moment we've had a lot of. But the sessions down at Corinthians are really good, really technical. James Bracken, Dan Pringle are great coaches, so I'm in good hands there. And then I'll come back for the first team training, and like Jack said, the gym work and stuff just to develop us.
And in terms of when you are back here as well, and I think the last time we did the interview, it was Robbo was the loans manager back then as well, so who's looking after you when you're back here?
Mark Hamilton's loans manager now. Just changed hands from Robbo, of course, as he's head coach. So yeah.
And you have that session out there, Jack, with Martin Davidson each week, yeah?
Yeah, so Mike and Martin work sort of very closely together to provide a very structured, sort of organised schedule for us boys, knowing what we want and sort of helping us along the way with everything that we need. So that's all that we could ask for.
Just finally as well for the pair of you, I mean, you've worked with Robbo for so long as well now, to see him now as head coach and that pathway through to the first team, that's obviously got to be a big part in your career going forward, yeah, Jack?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, sort of Robbo's very passionate. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get quality. You're going to get someone who's investing time in each and every player because he cares. At the end of the day, he knows where we're heading. We've obviously got the new boys sort of to back this up, and all of us young lads, we know where we want to get to. It's been sort of very clear from Robbo and all the coaching staff really, and it's just been a blessing. I mean, sort of every week they kind of check up on us, see how we're doing, and I think that's massive for all of us, confidence-wise, and knowing that we're part of something brilliant.
Brilliant. And Elliott, I mean, he's always, for the pair of you, he's always had so much confidence in the pair of you as well. That must give you tremendous confidence, yeah?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've had Robbo as a coach from really early days of being at the academy, and I feel like he's implementing his ideas onto the first team. I feel like that was his vision since a while back, and yeah, you can really see the positive impact he's making on the first team. I think he can take the first team to good places. So yeah, it's very positive.
Brilliant. Really good to catch up with the pair of you and find out a little bit more about you as well.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.